Um, Stephanie is not here, but she was named Employee of the Month. So if you see her next week when she's back in, tell her congratulations or send her an email or something. Ben, this is Ben's last week with us. He's moving to the Form night editor job, so we'll still be working with him, so we won't call him dead to us. But he will be still working on the Forms budgets for a while until we can get somebody into that position. We've got applications coming in and a couple of really strong candidates. So I'm hoping that we can move on that really quickly, get somebody in and get them trained. But Ben will be, taking care of the Fargo so that we have one less thing to do while we're down a person. He will start at 2:00 Monday through Friday. So we will still need to be working on those print editions earlier in the day. Holiday deadlines, I will send out an email with those shortly after this meeting. Everything's exactly the same as it was for Memorial Day, and it will be also exactly the same for Labor Day. So plan for that. Yeah, Meredith?
If you haven't already, could you also please confirm with local editors about their early content deadlines? Last holiday, Rochester was like, we don't know.
Yes. I did talk to Rochester already, but it is on my my notes, my to-do for tomorrow to send another message to make sure we don't have a repeat of, wait, what? With Ben's departure, we are kind of looking at our schedule and adjusting some schedule things. I've heard from a couple of you about some tweaks that you'd like. If any of the rest of you have anything that you would like changed in your schedule, please send me a message or talk to me about it. If there's something that you'd like changed, I'd like to be able to at least consider it as we're moving things around and see what we can do. All right, next, Jack, do you think you could? All right, I'm going to have Jack go through how to take stuff off the incoming board and move it onto the digest. With only Matt generally doing that during the day, we've been getting kind of backed up. And so I would like everyone to know how to do that. So I'll have Jack go over it, and then I'll make a reference video for it as well. But that's a big part of our job. So I want everyone to know how to do that. So sorry, I'll shut up. Jack, go ahead.
Let me figure out the best way to do this. Let me share my screen here. Are you seeing me?
Yep.
Okay. So usually when people post something on the incoming, they're supposed to post them on the date that they want it to run. Like this Wilmer thing that they added, I think it's for today, but I moved it to tomorrow because I don't know what kind of stuff we're gonna have tomorrow. And it's always good to have more stuff on days when we don't have anything. And I know that today we have a lot of stuff, tomorrow we don't. So if you're doing this, it's sort of a judgment call. You don't have to use if it's breaking news, then obviously you want it on the day. But if it's like a feature like this, go ahead and put it on like later in the week, especially for like print editions. I think that's the best thing to do for things like this. So basically, when we do this, we're going to open it up in the CMS. And the problem with some of these is that it gets confusing because some of them tag other properties in them right away. Like the form does that a lot on North Dakota News. So generally, we don't have to make a copy of it for that because it's just going to North Dakota properties and it's very specific. Like if it's something about Doug Bergeron doing whatever, like that's not going to go to any Minnesota properties. So you can just leave it as leave it as North Dakota. But the problem is that a lot of the properties like Wilmer, when they section it, I'm going to go all the way down here to the section so I can show you what I'm talking about. Well, actually, they section it as community. And I don't know if everybody has that tab either. A lot of times they'll section it as a local for themselves. And we don't want that because it's not going to be local if you put this on Bemidji Pioneer or Rochester. Both. So we want to put that in Minnesota, but we don't want to mess with their how they have it set. So what we need to do for that is make a copy of the article. So to do that, all you have to do when you get into the Bright Spot, you go down to this little 3-dot thing and click copy this article. What that does is it gives you a whole new unpublished version of the article that you can put wherever you want. So when you do that, the first thing you should do is change the owner. So it's not the property that you're doing, just because you don't want duplicates on the website. So I think most of us work out of Inform, so you want to make that owner Inform. And then what I like to do is change the slug here. So pod, just because if you do it again, then it might make an extra one, and it'll be harder to find. Somebody might grab the one if it's a duplicate. So just to make sure that we know that this is the one that for the pod, rename that slug Wilmer Wildflowers pod, and then hit save right away. And then you can edit it for FNS and for the pod. But the problem is once you do that, you're going to have to change your domain. So that's fine. You just click on that. And now you can work out of this and do whatever changes you want to do to it. I haven't actually edited this yet, so I'm not going to do that all right now. Sorry, somebody has a question.
Yeah. So when you hit make a copy, and then before you change the slug, is there like a way to kind of like check to make sure that you're in the copy and that you're not in the original, so you're not accidentally making changes to the original?
Yeah, like down here, I can't show you now because I already did that, but like it will just say it's not published. Like there won't be any of this. It'll be published. So like if
you go back into draft or something.
Yeah, like if you clicked on it and you saw like published by Kelly Bolden or whatever, then you know that that's like them. But if it's like just your name, then that's fine. Then that's what you want.
Okay.
That's like the fresh one. That's an important thing. It's a good question because sometimes if you don't pay attention to that, then you might be editing theirs. But if you see all the revisions and there's none or just yours, then you're good. Because usually the ones from them will have 10 or something of those because it's been sent to editing. I don't know if that answers your question or not, but so once we've done that, save it once more just so it is, just to make sure that it's saved. Sometimes it times out on me and then I lose all the progress and I have to go back. Okay. So once you do that, you want to decide where to send the story. And this is another thing where you kind of have to use your best judgment. If it's like a political thing, for example, Amy Klobuchar in Grand Forks, I sent that to most properties. I didn't send it to Duluth or Rochester, just because I don't know if they are as interested in agricultural stories as, say, Wilmer would be. But for some of these like features, I think it might be good to send it to all other Minnesota properties. I haven't actually read this whole thing, so I'm not exactly sure. But for now, I'm not gonna put any others on there just because I want to look at this a little more closely. But one thing also you want to do is this URL. It'll like make a URL. This has been explained to me and I don't quite understand it. So basically, this URL thing. You want to delete West Central from there because there's already a West Central URL for their own story. And I think if this publishes, it'll do like a duplicate one and then that messes things up. I don't really understand how that happens or why, but I know I've had problems with it, and I just do that to make sure that there's not an extra URL in there for everybody. Um, and you'll have to ask the Bright Spot team about some of the specifics. I don't really understand it. So then I think the other important thing too is sectioning down here. You want to make sure that it's in probably Minnesota, depending on what the property is. If it's a North Dakota thing, then you want North Dakota if that hasn't already been sectioned. South Dakota ones can be a little bit tricky. I think I usually put those in, like if it's something like the Jason Ravensbourg or whatever that other properties are going to want, I kind of tend to put that in just like, I don't know. I don't even remember where I put that before. I think there's one for politics or something. I don't remember. But most of the time it'll be Minnesota. You'll want to put in a Minnesota or North Dakota. Secondary section. I don't usually mess with the secondary sections or anything either. But yeah. So once I do that, right now I'm just going to publish it to form because I think I might go back and fix that later. Hit publish. It'll do its thing. Copy this log line so I can find it in the drive. That's not it. Okay, let's see. So once you've found it, you just move it over into Minnesota and at the FCC News Out, like the whole folder. And then I take the most recent one and I like to edit these cut lines just to make sure that they don't have all of the things for the web in them that we need. So I think it's for 2016. Probably go back in and do this again because I need to. I haven't edited it actually, but so once you do that, whatever the word count is, I think this one's pretty long. You just, I mean, basically now you're just linking it like you would any other story for any property, but you're doing it through this incoming board one, which is not. I think we all pretty much. I think most of us know how to do that. So okay, this is not working, but whatever. I'll do that later. Just link it, edit this. Once you've copied it, copy and paste it and put it on. I guess I'm putting it on Friday. It's not actually done yet, but I'll put it there just for now. Just basically copy and paste over it, and then you should be good to go. And then once you do that, just be sure to delete it from here because once they're still on here, that means that we haven't moved them over. Once you delete them, that means it's done, and we don't have to think about it anymore. So I think that's about it. I don't know if I missed anything, but that's basically the quick version of it. I might have missed some things, but yes.
One question just comes to mind is if we're all doing this, what if the board happens not to be set up for the new date and it still is a week behind?
Oh, okay. I guess that's something that we've had before. Let me find. Matt's got like a template for titled it MC Daily.
Yeah, I think generally
I can share that with
you
you.
have one person who's responsible for setting up the digest and having it ready. It's usually ready 2 days out.
Yeah.
Except for when we get to the weekend stuff. So, if you've got something ready and the digest for that isn't set up yet, I would say ask that person. Say I got the Thursday stories off the incoming board, but Thursday digest isn't set up yet. What do you want me to do?
I'm like the weekend stuff here. like for like Bursac and stuff, right?
Yeah.
So I think that's good. I mean, it's fine just to leave it for now until later in the week, and then the one of us will usually get to it. Usually on Thursday. On Thursday is when I usually, or Wednesday or Thursday. Matt or I will usually get to the weekend stuff then. So I think it's fine to just leave it here like this.
Mm.
But if there are a lot of papers asking about it, then I guess just let us know and we can figure it out. So if you want to, like this week, we might want to start on those a little bit earlier for the weekend editions, I guess. But
Yeah. So if you guys have time tonight to go through and link some of these Saturday ones,
yeah,
because I don't think we have the Saturday budget set up. I think I have to do that tomorrow morning. But if you want to link them on here and then just like, initial it or note that you've got it all set up and shared and everything, that's totally fine.
yeah, I think
So,
we do.
yeah. So I'll have to take care of that in the morning. But then I'll just be able to grab those things if one of you has already linked them. Other questions? Okay, as you're doing this, if you have questions that come up, you can ask me or Jack or, when he's back, Matt as well. So thank you. All right, I have another thing that I want to show you quick. Let me. Okay, we've had multiple issues lately with the photos from MPR. So I just want to walk you through how we can do those properly. So when you're going through on here to grab a story from MPR, when you click on it, usually the top photo, it'll have this download full resolution image. But if there's other photos, usually they don't even show up on this page. You have to go. So let's see this one. Okay, so this one that you can see doesn't even have any images on it. But when you open it here, you can, sorry. You can see that it has more than one image that just isn't included here. And if you try to download those images from here, it's going to want to save it as a WebP file, which designers can't use. And it's not necessarily going to be the resolution that designers can use, even if it was a JPEG. So what you do is on the News Partners version of this, hit this republish. Then this brings up an HTML version of this whole article. And obviously we don't do the HTML stuff on our sites when we do that. But you'll notice if you go through here, then all of a sudden there's a ton of links and they're all for these photos. So you'll see this one, and then the links are largely identical, except for at the end. So, okay. Right here, you can see a number. These ones are all WebP images, so they're web pages. They're not going to work for us. But if you keep scrolling down, then you'll see that they have more links, and these links all end in JPEG. So these are the photos that we can use. So what you want to do is for a horizontal photo, scroll down until you find the JPEG that says 2000. Then you just copy that link, paste it, and then this is a full size image. It's 2000 pixels across, so this could run 6 columns across in our paper. If the photo is vertical, then the top number here is going to be 1400, will be the largest that it goes. But you can download this and attach it for the designers, and then it won't have the issues that we've been running into where photos are not large enough or the photos don't work. Very occasionally, when you're going through here, for some reason, they won't have JPEG versions linked. So if they have that, so like here's the second photo for this. If they didn't have these JPEG versions linked, you could download the highest resolution WebP file. And then if you Google convert WebP to JPEG, this first one right here, click on that, and then you can just put the file in, and it will automatically convert it to a JPEG. And if you do that, it will keep the resolution so you don't lose the resolution that the designers need to be able to do their stuff. So then you can download it from here and then save it again. Questions? Okay. I know a lot of you don't. Yes, Meredith, what I'm planning to do is I'm working on full instructions for how to do the pod digests, and I'm going to link some videos. So I'm going to break these videos down in YouTube. So I'll have the full meeting video, but then I'll also have a how to take something off the incoming board with what Jack just said, and then I'll have a how to get photos from MPR video. And I will send those out now, and then also link them on those instructions as I work on them. So, because yeah, I know a lot of you don't necessarily take anything from MPR right now. So it's okay if you don't retain that information, but I'll make sure that you have the ability. So any other questions on that? Okay, then the last thing is I just want to, again, stress the importance of linking advanced content as early as you can, especially this week. I know we have people on our coverage document who are responsible for advanced content each particular day, but I want all of you looking at advanced content and working on linking that up when you're on. So, you know, if you've just linked everything for today for that paper, just scroll down on their content list and see if they've got tomorrow's opinion or business listed, or if they've got some of their weekend stuff listed, that you can also be working on that as well. The designer team is down 2 people right now. And, you know, we've got a long-term plan that we're working on to fix it, but especially for the next few weeks, the fix is the hub manager is doing extra pages, me doing pages, some stuff like that. So as much advanced stuff as can be available, the easier you're making it for everyone on the hub. And it's going to be easier for us too, because if we get a lot of like that Friday morning stuff done Wednesday night and into Thursday, then Friday morning's less hectic, you know, into the afternoon when we're all working. So just, you know, again, my regular plea to work on those ahead as much as you can. So anybody have anything else? All right. I will send out an email with duties for the holiday Monday for those of you who work. And then Carrie and Emma, can you stick around? Thank you all.